at Heal Yourself Happy and welcome to my kitchen. This evening I am going to be cooking some pizza. It's family night tonight and we all love pizza, but the challenge is that my youngest son is celiac and I am dairy intolerant. So tonight I'm going to cook a pizza that we can all have together. But first of all you need to make the dough, and this is going to need to be made at least 2 hours before you want to start to cook and prepare. When you've done that, it's really, really quick and simple to actually make the pizzas. But first of all, we are going to make the dough. And I'm going to be using my KitchenAid with the kitchen hook, but you can just do this manually if you wish. First of all, we're going to start off with some gluten-free white bread flour. This is gluten-free, and I love this brand, Dove's, which is really good. So we need 750 grams, so it's quite a lot. This is going to make 4 pizzas, or enough pizza for hungry people. 4 hungry people. So it's quite a lot of flour. Here we go. 750 in there. I'm going to put all of the dry ingredients in this bowl first. So we've got the flour, then we need some salt. So I'm going to be using some Maldon flaky sea salt. So you put about 3 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons of that in. That's not coming out very well. 1, 2, 3. So 3 of those in there. And then we are going to just stir that around a bit, mix that in. And then what I'm going to start doing is getting the hook going in the flour on a really, really low heat. If you were to do this manually, then you would need to make a well. So make a big hole. I can't really see that very clearly, but can you see there's a well? And then what you would do is you put your wet ingredients in there. So we're about to put some water and some olive oil in there. And then you would just mix that in nicely with your hands, but I'm going to be doing it with a dough hook. Oh, and I forgot to put the yeast in. Sorry, so we need 3 teaspoons of yeast. 1, 2, 3. So this is just one that I got from the supermarket. It's an easy bake yeast. I knew there was a missing ingredient when I started. There we go, so 3 dry ingredients. So you've got your salt, your yeast and your flour in there. And then your wet ingredients are, we've got here some warm water, 375 grams of warm water. So basically that's a cooler boiled kettle. And then we're going to have some olive oil as well. So we're going to put 4 tablespoons of olive oil in a minute. So I'm just going to get this going on a really low turn. And then slowly add this in. Oops. As usual, I'm going to make a mess. So just slowly add that in. Oops, now I'm turning this on by mistake. The trick is to try not to hit that spinning plate, but I keep hitting it every single time, which is why water's going everywhere. Now you can start to see this is beginning to clog together, which is what we want. So when you were doing this with your hands, you would start seeing that combine. Let's see if I can get it this time. There we go. Just keep adding that. Yep, it's beginning to all stick together, which is what we want. And then we want, what did I say, 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Right, that's really getting gooey now. So 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Oh look, I hit the spinning plate again. Go. Right, it's all beginning to combine. Really nicely, right, so that was my 4 olive oil in there. Put that there. So hopefully that's just going to keep going. I might just turn it up 1 notch, see what happens. Yeah, so now I'm on 2, so notch 2. So if you've got a KitchenAid, no faster than 2, and just let that all combine together. Meanwhile, what you're going to need is a bowl for where your pizza dough is going to prove for a couple of hours. So in your bowl, you just need to add probably another tablespoon of oil. A bit like that. And then just coat the sides, basically. So it's nice and oily. So when our dough gets all clubbed together, it will go in there and then have the olive oil in it so it won't stick to the bowl. Right, so that's probably going to take another few minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm going to pause the video and then I'll come back when that's in a ball. See you shortly. Hello, I'm back. So after a slight malfunction, as my very old KitchenAid, which we've had about 15 years, decided to disintegrate, we've had to put it back together again. But anyway, side story. The dough now has been going for about 6 to 8 minutes, and that looks about right on a low heat. So what we now have to do is take it out. So just peel that off the hook, like that. And then just what we want to do is kind of get it into a nice kind of round. So here we go. Got a nice dough here. Make it into a nice round. So that's had a really good dough knead. Now this is going to go in our oiled bowl. So I'm going to pop that in there. And then you need to leave that in a warm place, so it's quite warm in my kitchen. So I'm just going to put a tea towel over it and leave it here for about a couple of hours. So it's coming up to 5 now, so we'll be ready at about 7ish to make these, which is perfect time for tea in our family. So I'm just going to put that to one side, just put that over the top. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to make the pesto dressing, or the pesto topping, you know what I mean, the tomato base. So right, in here I've got, what have I got? I've written it down here on my little note. So I've got about 100 grams of sun-dried tomatoes in there with a little bit of the oil from the jar. So that's going in. I've got two garlic cloves here, peeled, pop those in, and this was 60 grams of pine nuts. Pop those in, and then I want a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Really, really good fermented food, obviously good for your gut health, good for our gut microbiome, which in turn makes us really healthy and strong. There we go, so a tablespoon of that. And then we want some salt and pepper. So I'm going to put just a little bit of salt, some pepper, and then I'm going to put some basil and some olive oil in here. So I've got my basil plant here, so I would say 2 nice handfuls of basil. There's one. I mean, this is very rough, so you can use what you like, but we'll get a nice handful in there, nice and basil. Right, so 2 handfuls and a bit for luck. A bit for luck there. In there, and what did I say next? We needed some olive oil, so we want to put, I reckon, 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. Oops, because we've got a little bit from the sun-dried tomatoes. So 2, 1, 2. Now, depending on the size of your handfuls, etc., you might need a little bit more oil when you're whizzing this up in your blender if it gets a bit stuck. So I'm now going to go and whiz that in my NutriBullet. And then we're almost just going to wait and have a break, go off to work, do whatever you need to do for a couple of hours, and then we're going to come back and we'll talk toppings and how long you need to cook the pizzas for. So while the dough for the pizza continues to prove, what I've done is I've prepared some toppings for everyone this evening. So I've just cut some asparagus strips in half, we've got 2 peppers, we've got some tomatoes. I'm probably the only person who's going to put tomatoes on my pizza, but I love them. So there's some tomatoes. I've got some really finely cut courgette, which is just lovely on a pizza, I think. We've got some mushrooms, some sweet corn, which I know the boys love. And then here's a little bit of spinach. So all I've done with the spinach is I've put it in some boiling water, let it go soft. Then I've drained off the hot water and then added cold water and squeezed it all out. And then you've got some nice spinach to go on top of your pizza as well. So, and it looks just pretty, so I'm going to serve it and everyone's going to make their own. I've also got some cheese to go on top as well, so I'll show you that in just a second, but I've got some vegan cheese and some normal mozzarella cheese, and then I've got some goat's cheese, because as I said before, I'm dairy intolerant, so I can have some vegan cheese or I can have goat's cheese, and everybody else can have the mozzarella, or both, or whatever they want. Maybe they want to have like a quattro stagione or something, I don't really know, but with lots of cheese. So you can also prep ahead and get this ready. So this is ready now, and I'm just going to cover it with cling film and keep in the fridge, and then bring everything out and everyone can do their own once I've rolled out the pizzas. Right, so I'm back in the kitchen. It's about 7 o'clock and everyone's getting a little bit hungry. We've been for a walk in the rain. And I'm going to do a test pizza first and just make sure that the pizza dough is ready. So I thought I would do that with you before I let everybody else have a go at doing their pizzas. So we need to get our dough that's been proving out. So it should come out nice and easy because you oiled the bowl. I'm just going to put it on there, and then I'm just going to take a little bit off first. it'll take off a little bit like that. I'm going to put the rest back in the bowl, and I'm just going to make this roll it out into more of a pizza shape. Do a mini pizza, I think, to start with. So about that. And I'm going to put some of this lovely mixture that we made earlier on the top. So the back of a spoon, I'll just move that bit out. And I will just spread that over the pizza dough. Oops. And then I'm going to choose some toppings to put on. Right, so we've got this lovely platter of veggies that I did earlier, and I would really like, I'm going to put a little bit of spinach on, and I really like pepper, so we'll put a little bit of colourful pepper on. Maybe I'll put a little bit of asparagus on too, like that. 3 of those, I think. There we go. Just line that up, make that look a little bit pretty. I love tomatoes, so I'm definitely going to put some tomatoes on this one. And then you've got a choice. So I'm dairy intolerant, so you can get lactose-free grated cheese. So I just got this from a supermarket, so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that over the top. You can also just, if you're not dairy intolerant, then you could just use good old mozzarella there. On another one I might do later, I might also put a little bit of goat's cheese on, because I like that, but I thought I would try this first. There we go. So nice little bit of cheese on the top. And now one thing that I do quite like is some avocado. So baked avocado is one of my favourite things in the world. So you can slice a bit of avocado on the top, which would be lovely. I might do avocado and goat's cheese next. Oh, and actually I've just had my first fig come off the tree, so I might put that on. How amazing would that be? I've also got some salami that the boys absolutely love, and I've just cut that bit up. They might want to put some of that on. We also had a roast chicken, so I've sliced some of the roast chicken from lunch, and they can sprinkle that on. And we'll just see how they go, and I will show you what they choose later, but let's see what's going to happen. So I'm going to put this now in the oven for about 7 or 8 minutes, depending on, well, it's only small, so probably about 7 or 8 minutes, otherwise I would say 10 minutes. Pop that in a hot oven. It's about 200 degrees, not quite yet, 200 degrees, and then slice that up for the family to try, and then they can come and make their own. I'll let you know how we get on. Right, so this is Willie's. We'll do that again. So Willie has made his pizza. You can clearly see it's very adventurous. It's just got cheese and sweet corn on. But here comes Tom's, because his is ready. Oops, that's really hot, Wills, watch out. Okay. And here is Tom's, looking mighty fine, and he's got loads of veggies on there. So he's got some, I can spy some courgettes, some peppers. He's got mushrooms, he's got a little chicken, he's got a little pepperoni, so he's good to go. Right, watch out, I'm going to go that way now.
Hi.
What do you think of your pizza?
Good.
Tom?
It's better than the normal pizzas, definitely.
Is it?
Hot.
What do you think?
Delicious.